Hi, this is Helene, and you're watching On the Lookout TV. So I was born in Cedar Rapids and went to school at the University of Iowa. I majored in communication studies with the hope of becoming a publicist one day. And I always knew that it would have to do with fashion. I love fashion. I breathed it as a kid. I wanted to do something with it, and I was always a talker, so communications, public relations seemed like a good fit. So after I graduated from school, I moved to New York and started off doing different jobs there, not in the fashion field, but just to kind of make money and just get settled and everything. And then when I was there for probably about, I would say 8 months, I thought, okay, now I need to kind of get serious. I wanted to start to do my internships, get, network with a lot of different designers, public relations houses, just see where it went from there. Just start off with the internship. So I went on Craigslist and I actually found, it's called Seventh House PR. It was the first PR firm that I interned with. And really great firm. They were just looking for non-paid interns. We were kind of, like the grunt people during Fashion Week. We would run all the errands and we would get coffee and we would flip through the magazines and look for all of their clients, credits is what they're called. We would clip them out and put them in scrapbooks for the clients to see. So that was a really good starting ground for me, Seventh House PR. They had clients such as more indie, like Imitation of Christ and Charlotte Ronson, names that may not be as mainstream, but they're very up and coming in the fashion world. So I kind of got my start there, started seeing a lot of celebrities, come and go throughout the agency and stuff. And I thought, wow, this is pretty cool. It's a good starting ground. And I really didn't know kind of where it was going to lead me. So then after I did my first fashion week, I think that was, I believe it was September 2006. Yeah, I believe it was September 2006. And after it was kind of the madness was all over, they were looking for an assistant to replace the assistant to the head of the PR firm. And I wasn't kind of crazy about staying there long term. I didn't really see myself at that particular agency. So I was offered a position and I turned it down. And then I kind of went out on my way to get more internships. I wanted to see more designers and see more different kinds of aspects of the fashion business. So my next internship was with Zac Posen. And Zac Posen at that time, he was the next Oscar de la Renta. So everybody in New York, Paris, all over the world, was talking about him. And he was just like a young wonderkind. So I was an intern in their press office, really small, in Tribeca, and that was amazing. I mean, he's like a technical genius, like gowns for days. He dressed Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. He would dress Claire Danes. He dressed Sandra Bernhardt. I helped her find a dress for an event. We basically dressed celebrities, and we'd also pitch his, current lines or the lines that were coming out to the different fashion editorials like Vogue and InStyle and Harper's Bazaar, stuff like that. So basically public relations is just how many pictures of the line can you get out there, free publicity, that kind of thing. And that was pretty amazing. I was there for, I think it was just a few months because I really was starting to get antsy. I wanted to not be an intern anymore. I really wanted to start to make money and be a part of an agency, really belong. So after Zac Posen, I struck out and I tried to get a paying gig at agencies. It was kind of difficult, you just kind of start out. Really, the fashion business is about who you know. And I didn't know anybody. I was just this girl from the Midwest, just coming up, and I just tried really hard, just to kind of meet people and talk to them and stuff. So I landed an interview with an agency called Paul Wilmot. And this was a full service agency. So they have many different clients. They have fashion, they have beauty, they have lifestyle. So among their clients was like JLo. She had a brand called Sweet Face at the time. And Gwen Stefani has her Lamb line, which was represented by Paul Wilmot. But the clients that I eventually got hired, and the clients that me and my account executive worked for, because it was always teams and we always concentrated on our accounts, was Sean John, so P. Diddy, Beyonce's House of Darion, and at that time Justin Timberlake's William Rast, which he did with his best friend, and Uniqlo, which was a Japanese brand coming out of Japan, obviously. It's sort of like the Japanese Gap, but a little bit more sophisticated. And they were opening their flagship in New York, and they were going to kind of dominate the US. And so we were there to help them support that by throwing parties and networking, lots of publicity. So I was with Paul Wilmot for a little over a year, and that's when I really got into the meat of the fashion industry. I would I would take appointments with the different editors of the magazines and walk them through the different lines and, show them why Sean John for women or, Sean John men, why they should, do an editorial on them for like the upcoming, fall must-haves or something like that. And we did all the fashion shows. We did RSVP and set up for Oscar de la Renta and Gwen Stefani's Lamb presentation, and through lots of parties. We did a party for P. Diddy, I think in cooperation with the Whitney. I can't remember, but it was pretty amazing. It really consists of a lot of different things. It's kind of hard to explain because it's not like your typical PR firm that's kind of corporate and goes by the book. Fashion PR, it's a creative pursuit. It's artistic. So things change every day. And you could be, setting up like the fashion show or a presentation for a client. You could be throwing a party on behalf of a client to get their sort of name out there. You could be pitching your line to different editorials, newspapers, now social media, which wasn't as readily available when I was doing it. There's a lot of different projects that are going on. You could be throwing, opening parties for the opening of a new boutique for the client, dressing celebrities, collaborations with celebrities, to your clothing, your designer's clothing brand. When I was working on Sean John, I remember he wanted to do a celebrity collaboration with advertisements and promotion and stuff like that. So we were thinking of different people at the time. We were thinking of Derek Jeter. We were thinking of Dwayne Wade. We were thinking of Chameleonaire at the time was kind of really cool. So, we would kind of wine and dine them. We would send them like tons of clothes. There's a lot of different aspects to it. No day is ever the same, which is probably the beauty of it.